Hey y'all, welcome back. It's now November 7. 2 full weeks now, Monday through Fridays, with a Saturday obviously thrown in there since testing at Grattan. And we've been concentrating on the old secret project, and we've come quite a distance, right? We're all cut out around the air box and the front pipe. We still got some work to do here, and to rework these mounts because it fits that driver fairing a little different. We're going to make a new dash panel for them and put all this stuff on the new panel and get all that fitting up and stuff. But right now we're working on the rear bumper. Instead of just like with the side pods, instead of altering the Anderson side pod that comes from the factory fits the cart, fits the Anderson side pods and what have you, we also don't want to alter the stock standard rear bumper. So he can always go back to his Anderson nose, his Anderson pods, his Anderson wing, and he'll have all the underlying components that these things mount to. We didn't mess with the front bumper on the cart as well. So that's the integrated part of the nose apparatus. So here we are. We've got this simulated American bumper. This is all metric. This is all English. Me and Rich, a couple old guys over here, our backs killing us. We were over here working right on the cart, and the cart on the floor, laying down, tacking things. I'm holding it, he's tagging it. It was really shows your age when you got to get up off that floor. Even though Rich don't have no screws and rods in his back, he's been run over lump by a car, by a 4,000-pound car. So he's not altogether right either. And he's 60 years old. So there you go, Rich. I told everybody he's a geezer. I'm right behind him. But we got what we have here all in one piece. Made tabs to replicate this here. Went a little different direction where these had the rubber inserts in them. Those rubber threaded inserts, they're not in there. I think I put them in a box down here. Anyway, the like on the chassis, the bolts go in the end here. And there's that rubber insert in there that threads into it. And I can't seem to find it. Oh, they're in the seat. This here. Right, it's got the threaded deal on the end. So when you tighten the bolt, the rubber expands. It gets fatter, like a rubber pipe plug. And it expands inside the chassis, and that keeps things from moving. Because we're so close here with the brake caliper on, of being able to get, tighten that bolt, we went a little different direction. One, because we don't have the metric tubing, and you see these guys, the Anderson guys, welded a little piece of tubing about 1/8 of an inch wide inside of here as a lip to hold that rubber from sliding out, even though it's tightened down. We went a different direction. We went with washers, a bolt in the end of the tube with washers and rubber. Right now, to have to really force that on there, but you get the idea. So we sandwiched a rubber between a couple washers. They go on here. There's the tab on the chassis that I showed you. Nut goes on the back side. We tighten. So what we did is we actually bolted these bits in place and then set everything up and squared it up. We put it on the floor and blocked it up off the floor to make sure it wasn't going to sag on the right or left. That it was lean. It wasn't going to lean forward or backward. And it was quite a bit of work, actually. For a couple old guys to have to get up and grab a wrench or get up and grab the cutoff wheel, get up and get a better another light source to see better and little squares and 90s to make sure everything is squared and on the right angle and centered, and tape measures, and it was but that's what we get paid the big bucks for, right? So this is the base of the bumper. We at this point copied everything, right? We 1-inch tube, almost 1-inch tube, pinched it down, notched everything. Really turned out nice. Thanks to Ed again at Jaguar Karts for bending us up those hoops. That saves you a lot of time. One day we're going to have to get us one of those little hand benders so we can bend bumpers and stuff. But this is what we're going to do now is notch these pieces here. As you can see, what we'll do is, this is your datum surface, right? This surface and this surface are going to be your 0. So what we'll do is we'll measure down with a 90 and then measure over, because this is where his pipe mount was on, right? The pipe mount here. And we're trying to replicate that, so the pipe mount on this bumper will be in the right position to mount the silencer can, right? As you can see, this one here, this upright or a vertical stabilizer, much shorter on this side than on this side, because the silencer, the pipe and silencer come through here. So we don't have that problem on our extended bumper, right? If this is going to be this much longer, we certainly won't have too much trouble. But what we'll do is we'll just set this here for right now. After we get that all notched up and fitting, and obviously it's going to be on the tube, we've got our little pipe mount piece. So we'll measure down, measure over, and find out exactly where this goes. And we'll get that tacked in place. Once we get everything else tacked on, we're going to use full hoops. We'll cut down the height, right, obviously, here. But we'll make it as long as we can here. Although, because we don't have that problem with the exhaust coming through like we did on the Anderson. So we'll put both these on, get everything notched out and tacked on, pipe mount tacked on, and then it'll be ready for Rich to come and weld it up. And then at that point, we can bolt that bad boy on, and it'll be on like Donkey Kong. We won't need to be taking it off. If we weld anything else on it, like tabs and mountings for the radiator or our wing upright, or our water tank that we have designed to go on the back of this thing, we can do that right on the cart. We won't have to take it back off again, because it really is kind of a chore getting this thing on and off the go-kart. Especially, I mean, that's why we have the pods off. You couldn't really get in here to get a wrench in here. We had to take that wheel off. Really is a good idea to take this one off to get to the back side of this as well. So we've got our bolt coming through that's welded into the end of the bumper, and we need to be able to get to it. This side, not so bad. Over here, folks, we put this caliper back on, and we've got quite an issue with any kind of clearance in there. Come on, bub. Oh, I need 2 hands to do this. Anyway, this gets you real close to where it's at. There's not a lot of room to work in here, right? So, yeah, wow, look at that. So that's where we're at. I'm going to work on this bumper today, obviously shortening the bolt down so there isn't as much threading going on. And that is going to be setting up. We just used a standard nut. When it goes on for good, we'll have a nice fat lock nut on there. And we'll get that stuff on, and it won't be coming off. We're making a lot of progress, man. We're real excited about where this thing's going and how it's coming along. Maybe John will let us start releasing the movies, before he takes delivery of this thing, because I know he wants to see them too. I told him at this point, like I said, no more movie. I'm not going to send you pictures of what I'm doing anymore. You're going to have to wait like everybody else. So I think that might motivate him to let me start releasing the videos. We'll see. Godspeed, God bless. Hang in there, y'all. This is number 16, I believe, in the can.